For regular followers of the channel, we are still on the potato microphone for now, so just deal with it, I guess. Happy Wednesday, traders. It is the Indicator Profile Series with the PMO. Like I said before, traveling, and my mic is a bit bulky for a travel bag, so I'm using a conference mic, and that's why we sound like this. But that's not really the point. The point is the indicator. Let's go ahead and get into it. But if you're new, understand you are at the #1 YouTube channel for indicators. It's always been this way. It's always going to be this way. But we talk and we do things a certain way. You might not be familiar with those ways. What you need to do is go to nononsenseforex.com right here. Read the first page, watch the first video, and get caught up. Don't just ask questions here in the comments section. We will not answer them. You need to get caught up with the rest of us because it is worth it. Now, if you're already caught up, let's go over the specs. For the PMO, the year is going to be 2015. The type is going to be a confirmation indicator. Subtype's going to be a two lines cross. We have not done two lines cross in a little while. But as far as exits go, it could be a good one. Because I've been traveling, I just haven't had time to really test it in that capacity or really look at it in that capacity. But when you have two lines cross indicators and the lines run together fairly close, that is often a good candidate for an exit indicator. So if you didn't know that before, now you do. Let's go ahead and look at it. I kind of gave away what it looks like. It does look like a two lines cross with the lines pretty close together. Now, this normally has a zero line in the middle. And because of that, it operates a little bit like the MACD operates. And we've done a whole dedicated video on the MACD. I did it a long time ago. People thought I was going to hate it. I actually didn't. I said it's actually very useful in certain applications, and there's a really big takeaway that everybody needs to be aware of. So if you have not seen that video, please go watch it. And honestly, if you have any two lines cross indicator already in your bag, and you want to turn it into a more MACD style, you can just add a zero line or a midline to it more often than not. But for the PMO, for a long, you just wait for the green line to cross and close above the red signal line. And that's going to be your signal to go long. And then when it does the opposite, that is your signal to go short. Pretty darn easy. Not really much more to say about it. Let's go ahead and run the test. Before we do that, understand, these tests weren't always done yesterday. And even if they were, and no matter what you see, it only matters how it performs in your system. So that is what you need to go do. No matter if you see amazing results or terrible results, it does not matter. You might be saying, but VP, I don't know how to test this. Well, I'm going to show you how down in the links below. We got you so hooked up in the links. There's a link to my automation blog, which has an embedded video showing you how to test this yourself. We have Dan Stone's blog, which everybody goes to see the tweak settings and any other information you're going to want to see. You can also go to Dan's YouTube channel, where he runs it in real time to show you it doesn't repaint, and then always adds in a few little extra tidbits of information that I don't. Now, if you have an indicator you want us to profile here, there's a special place to go send that to, and that's going to be included as well. And then the most popular place in all of the information superhighway, it is the indicator library, where you can download the PMO and every indicator we have done here on the Indicator Profile Series. Let's go ahead and take a look, starting with the EURUSD. Now, a while back, I thought we really stumbled across an indicator with an incredible hit rate for Forex. Turns out most of the good ones are already doing that. Now, the ROI is not going to be super big, but I'm telling you, we show indicators here that are on the very, very high end of results for the current market. And the current market, at least on the daily, is giving us higher win-loss ratios and lower ROI. What you may want to do is take these indicators we have done in the last maybe 2 months and run them through the strategy tester at different date ranges to see how they would have performed then, and measure that against the current lineup you're using right now. Because markets are very different. And there's a very high likelihood that all of these markets, especially Forex, is going to start getting pretty wild once the recession hits, or really even once election season hits. And so you're going to want to have your lineup ready. But if you're dismissing some of these and not testing because of the lower ROI, I think you're making a really big mistake. Over to gold. Now, what we've been seeing in gold, and really only gold on this channel, is a lower win-loss ratio, but a higher ROI. And then, as has been the case too, the 4-hour results just are lagging in every metric for the most part. But good ROI here. But this, again, this is pretty much what we've seen the last few weeks too. And the PMO is staying right in line with what we've seen. So let's move on to the S&P. S&P has always been lower. Anybody who's traded or even looked at the S&P 500 is probably going to see the same thing we're seeing here on the table. But again, we are in a very dead zone, and it's pretty obvious based on what's coming up in the near future and distant future that this is not going to be the case. So like I said, get those indicators in. Finishing off with Bitcoin. Now, a smaller win-loss ratio here, but a solid ROI compared to what we've been seeing. I would argue this is a few more trades than we're used to seeing overall. So if you are more of an active trader, or if you are a crypto trader and really Bitcoin and maybe Bitcoin or ETH is all you trade, you will probably like this better than some of the indicators we've shown. But as I've said before, the results are still falling right in line with what we've seen probably the last maybe 3-4 episodes. But that's going to be our show for today. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell. You don't want to miss anything. We have the Trading Psychology podcast every other Monday, Indicator Profile series every other Wednesday. They alternate. And then the 10-Minute Contrarian Investing podcast every Saturday, and sometimes a blog on Thursday. We have you so covered across the board. Don't miss anything. And go get it.